Hi everyone, how's everybody doing? I am finally getting my crafty mojo back, yay! After my last video where I did some tags, I decided to work on a card for my boyfriend's. It's hard to call somebody who's 64 your boyfriend, but anyway, he is. He's a few years older than me, and anyway, he just had a birthday, and I didn't get this done in time. It started out as a card, so I only did it the week before his birthday, and it morphed into this collection folio by Tim Holtz that I decided to do for him. So he's 2 weeks after his birthday, and he still hasn't gotten his card. So he got all his gifts, but he didn't have a card. And I thought I would just pop on and do a share because I just finished it, and yeah, just a reason to do a video, I guess. So let's get into it. This is the small Tim Holtz collection folio, and I used 3 paper pads. See how prepared I was? Bam! Here you go. These are the ones I use, because normally I don't have anything sitting out. I actually have not cleaned up the mess that I made from making this thing, so that's why this is still sitting out. So I don't think any of these are available anymore. This is the 7 Gypsies Vintage Varsity 8x8 paper pad that I picked up from Tuesday Morning a few years ago, and it's been sitting in my hoard. This is one of the paper pads I actually did not de-stash because I thought I would actually use it. I don't have too many vintage papers, and so I kind of kept just about all the vintage looking ones that I had. And I really like this one. This has all kinds of different sports: baseball, football, golf, and my boyfriend is a huge sports nut is what I was trying to say. He played hockey and baseball in his younger years, and must have been when the league first started. Just joking. Anyway, so you know, because he's so old. Anyway, he was into all kinds of sports along with his sons, so I decided to make this collection folio about that. And so it's masculine themed. Couldn't use a lot of laces, florally things, because it's for a guy. So it's pretty basic. The Hot Buy Whiskey Barrel paper pad from Michael's was used, and also the Hot Buy Flea Market. I don't know if these are still available. I don't think they are, though. Again, these were from 2 or 3 years back, and I've just now started using them. So those are the only papers that I used in this folio, okay? Everything was distressed around the edges, inside, just everywhere is distressed with vintage photo, Tim Holtz paper pad. Here we go. I hit the record button and I forgot how to talk. Vintage photo ink pad, and also his distress stain dauber. That's pretty much what I did the folio with anyway. It was a lot easier than using the ink pad. And I used his quote bands right here. I threaded those through on the elastics that feed back here. And here's actually the back of the folio, and this is a cut out from one of those paper pads, the Handmade by. And what else? Numbers that came from the pad, everything, just anything paper related came from those 3 pads. So I'm going to quit saying that. Put a little bit of cheesecloth behind it, and again, this is for him, so I didn't go frou-frou with dimension or anything on the cover. I did use the string to bind in the, well, you'll see that in a minute. And I didn't do a busy charm dangle either. Again, it's just for a guy. I just wanted to weight down the strings that are holding it with a rusty washer and a little copper key from my stash. I did rust a whole bunch of stuff. I got crazy and rusted with the hydrogen peroxide and vinegar solution. It worked really well on a lot of my stuff. So a lot of rusty stuff, especially some paper clips and safety pins, turned out really well. I think it just depends on the type of metal. These bands were also included in that, so they're real grungy. I don't know if you can really see that. But anyway, so back to this. You open it up. It has a magnetic closure here. The closure itself is made out of the Tyvek material, and it's the craft colored Tyvek, and it was cut using the Sizzix book closures Biggs die. I don't know if that's available either, but I really like it for book closures. So it has a little magnet in here, a magnet hidden behind the front cover paper, and it just snaps right in. So you open it up, and this is what it looks like so. And right here, we'll just start on this side and work our way over. This also has a couple of magnets here because I didn't want the pages, without a magnet, the pages that I made put in here were just flopping all over the place. So I had to kind of tuck some magnets in at the last minute, and that's why they're like super close to the edge. So you can see the magnet if you're looking at it from this angle, but no big deal. So you open it up this way, and this is a craft envelope, which does another flip out right here. Am I in frame? There we go. And I notched out just a couple of pockets. So this is the craft envelope, and then this is some of the paper that I just glued in to make a second pocket, and then I just notched it with the circle punch. And in it is, he's from Philadelphia, so he's only been in Florida for about 8 years now, so he always goes back up to Philly too. And this is a map, vintage map of Philadelphia, and a vintage golf scorecard because he golfs all the time, multiple times a week. He's a VP with Wells Fargo, so he gets out on the golf course and schmoozes a lot of vendors and clients and stuff, so he golfs a lot. And inside you do the flip, and you'll see all the pockets that I did are distressed, torn is what I'm trying to say, and then distressed with the vintage photo. The envelope I did sew around this just to give it some more texture. But anyway, that's how I did all these pockets, and then you'll see all the photos here. So this is at a Phillies game up in Philadelphia at the stadium there with his son and a bunch of their friends. And here is another page with, again, that little torn edge. And this is the boyfriend on the golf course with his youngest son down here in Florida. And then over here are a bunch of file folders that I stapled in. And I reinforced each of the tabs in here with tabs that I made with my We Are Memory Keepers tab punch board, just to reinforce it and make it stronger. And this is where he could just leave it alone or pop on a photo or something, was my intention for this anyway. And I really love that paper. It was really cool, especially like this baseball right here. So cool. And this is a picture of him and his oldest at a game, the Phillies spring training in Clearwater, which is where he lives. So, which is one of the reasons why when he moved to Florida, that's why he wanted to move to Clearwater, so he could be next to Phillies, real close to Phillies training. But anyway, so that is at the spring training facility, one of their games. And another little pocket. I love this. It has that football pigskin texture on that paper back behind, and then you've got like the little baseball. I just love this. And this is him with his youngest just a couple of years ago at the Phillies spring training in Clearwater. Then you open it up, And he can put a photo here. I made another little pocket over here. And this is at a Phillies game, but this was at Ray J in Tampa. So when the Eagles were playing the Bucks, so that was a few years back. And just a little note that I put in here to let him know how to use the collection folio, because I made this so he can put photos of him and his sons in here and any kind of memorabilia that he might have, ticket stubs from games, that sort of thing. So I just made a little pocket out of one of the cut aparts in the paper pad. I have this coin envelope, again, where he could just put whatever inside here, but I had also made it where it was a little pocket back here. I just made a little tag, did some stamping and distressing on the back, and then I sewed some fabric as a pull tab. Again, he could put photos in the back of that as well. And over here, another little photo. It's his oldest, again, that spring training game in Clearwater. And here is another little pocket that I made right here to put photos of whatever he wants with this booklet. This is another little scorecard, golf scorecard, vintage. And then I sewed this with my sewing machine down the spine. Just this little booklet that has some coffee dyed papers in it. So you can write about his sons, his adventures with his sons, or put in tickets, photos, whatever. And I think I already showed this one. Yeah. Okay, so that's it on those, and it goes like, so it closes like that, and then like that. And then here, I just have this tied with some sari silk that is totally shredding, and pretty soon it's just going to be put together with threads. And this was an ivory sari ribbon that I just distressed with that vintage photo to grunge it up. And inside, I did not do anything except line that. I didn't make pockets out of them. I thought if he wanted to just put pictures here, he could do that. And then this was very heavily influenced, this part of the folder was very heavily influenced by Angie, Mountain Girl Studio. I really liked the way she had strung this piece in without actually binding it to the spine. Or not binding it, but gluing it or whatever to the spine here. So I like how you can pull the entire thing out, but for this, there's really no need. So you can just do your little flip through here. Didn't do anything on that little bitty flip. The next one has this cute little Tim Holtz. I used a lot of the Tim Holtz paper dolls, just like Angie did in her video. And I did wax everything too. So I just took clear wax pellets and ironed it on to both front and back on this whole insert, just to strengthen it up. And this is just a Tim Holtz clock, again, that got very rusty. This has more of a patina from that mixture that I did to rust all the stuff, all my metals. And a Tim Holtz game piece, again, that rusted really well in that mixture. And the back side, I didn't really do too much to the back side, except some of the bigger pieces I did do a bunch of stamping and distress inking. And this piece right here has an Ingvild Bohm. Oh, I forgot to mention, these are Ingvild Bohm screw heads too. Remember the old Ingvild Bohm pieces? Really wish she still made those. Anyway, I did all four corners on both sides with the screw heads. And then I have one of her light bulbs right here that says "You." Some more Tim Holtz paper dolls, a little quote, a rusty paper clip that he could just clip on a ticket there, or a little photo. Another little rusty paper, no, not paper clip, Kim. Safety pin. I don't know why I keep wanting to call those safety pins a paper clip. Anyway, and then there's the back side of that. March is his birth month. Another little tab that I made with the We Are Memory Keepers tab punch board. I love how the wax just really helped to vintage this up and make some of the colors dark. This was a very light craft color. I love how that turned out once I waxed it, because it became that really dark mocha color. Very cool. And then right here, this is grunge board, Tim Holtz grunge board and numbers that I made with his new age. A little tab, again with a rusty safety pin, and this little charm right here, which you probably can't see, but it has a really nice patina on it, and it's 57, which is his birth year, 1957. And just a little clock that I stuck on him sitting there. And then here's the back side. Again, you can see I just used some mixed media stamps just to kind of zhuzh it up a little bit. And then right here is the last flap in this little, whatever you call this. And again, just another little rusty paper clip and a little photo booklet that I made. Again, took this from Angie. And this is the Tim Holtz. I used the Tim Holtz Mechanical Gears embossing folder. It's the 3D one. And then I did the Finnabair wax over it, but I lost some of that when I did the waxing over the wax over wax, and I lost some of that. But I really like it. It's super grungy looking. A couple of brads are holding this in place right here. Again, I had already rusted those in my solution. And you open it up, and it's just a bunch of watercolor paper that he can put 4x6 photos on. So I really like that. And then this is a heavier chipboard material that I wanted to have, so it wasn't flopping around in here. And then it just goes right in this little pocket here. Okay, so that's it on that little insert. And then right here is a little pocket, that expanding pocket that I made. I used just some very light cotton fabric and sewed it on. So for the life of me, I couldn't remember how to do the what do you call that, where you can expand the folders with paper. Anyway, I can't think of the name of it, and I've made them 100 times, and for some reason when I was doing this folder, I could not remember how to do it. So I just wound up doing it this way with the fabric. And I have this metal book plate that has his birth date in it. And then inside is a little booklet that I made. And this is a cut out from one of the paper pads that I used. And an Acco paper fastener that is holding it together. And I didn't measure well. You can see how off center it is. But anyway, don't really care. Imperfect perfection for me. And you open it up, and this is just things I printed off the internet. This is his calendar year of the year he was born. And it goes into sports, trivia, pop culture, historical events that happened that year, and popular toys from the year he was born, fashion from the year he was born. And I just made a little booklet out of it and thought I would tuck that in here just to commemorate the year he was born. And that's it. So I really love the way this turned out. You know, I have a full-time job, so it was hard to get it done in the time I had that week before his birthday, so that's why it took so long. And like I said, I just thought I would just do the share here just as an excuse to have a video up. And so if you have any questions about how I put this together that I didn't already cover, feel free to message me. And I'll see you the next time. Bye, guys.